decide to fill your bedroom with liquid nitrogen, 1 tank, then 10, then 1,000. The floor disappears under a shimmering, boiling lake of -320 degrees Fahrenheit. You stand in the center. Everything is very cold. This is a very bad idea. Heat transfer happens instantly. The nitrogen boils violently upon contact with the warmer floor. Thick white clouds of condensed water vapor erase the walls. Visibility drops to 0. Your toes freeze solid in less than a second. Nerve endings stop firing. Pain disappears. This is replaced by a sudden brittle rigidity. You are now a human popsicle. The room is no longer a bedroom. It is a cryogenic storage unit. Nitrogen is a stubborn element. It wants to be a gas. As the liquid absorbs heat from your furniture, it expands. This process is called boiling. The room is a sealed box. As the liquid turns to gas, the internal pressure climbs. Air molecules are shoved into a smaller and smaller space. The walls begin to groan. The door frame bows inward. The oxygen is pushed toward the ceiling. Breathing becomes impossible. Lungs pull in pure nitrogen. Consciousness flickers and fades. This is not suffocation in the traditional sense. It is simply the absence of anything useful to breathe. You are now an unconscious, frozen statue in a pressurized metal can. Your smartphone is still in your pocket. The battery chemistry fails instantly. The screen cracks into 1,000 tiny shards. The lithium-ion cell freezes. It does not explode, it just stops. The device is now a very expensive, very cold paperweight. Material science becomes the main character. Drywall is not designed for cryogenic immersion. The moisture inside the gypsum freezes and expands. The walls develop deep, jagged fissures. Screws pop out of the studs like champagne corks. The wooden frame of the house undergoes thermal shock. Cellulose fibers shatter. The structural integrity of the room is now comparable to a wet cracker. Every surface is under immense tension. The liquid nitrogen continues to boil. Fueling the pressure, the air is now a supercritical fluid. The temperature gradient between the inside and outside of the house is extreme. Physics hates this. Nature demands an equilibrium. The room is no longer holding the gas, it is merely delaying the inevitable. The walls are vibrating, the floor is humming. The entire structure is now a ticking bomb made of frozen wood and shattered plaster. The expansion ratio is the real killer. 1 liter of liquid nitrogen becomes nearly 700 liters of gas. Your room holds roughly 30,000 liters of liquid. That equals 20 million liters of gas. The pressure exceeds the breaking point of the house. A structural failure occurs. The wall doesn't just break, it detonates. The sudden release of pressure creates a supersonic shockwave. The remaining liquid nitrogen flashes into gas instantly. This is known as a bleave, boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. The force shears the bedroom off the second floor. The house is ripped open from the inside. Shards of frozen drywall fly at Mach 1. They act like fragmentation grenades. The neighborhood is suddenly filled with a freezing white mist. Cars in the driveway are coated in instant frost. The street becomes a tundra. Windows for 3 blocks shatter from the overpressure. The shock wave travels through the ground, cracking the foundation of the neighbors' homes. It is a localized weather event, a cryogenic apocalypse. Everything within 50 feet is now structurally compromised. The aftermath is clinical. Your body, now completely frozen and brittle, is launched through the roof. Impact with the asphalt is not a thud, it is a shatter. You break into several hundred distinct pieces. None of these pieces are organic, they are ice crystals and frozen carbon. The remaining liquid nitrogen flows into the street, it boils the pavement. The extreme cold causes the asphalt to contract and crack. Water pipes under the road freeze and burst. Geysers of frozen slush erupt from the sewers. The local power grid fails as transformers freeze and pop. The air temperature in the immediate vicinity drops by 40 degrees. Birds falling from the sky are frozen mid-flight. They hit the ground like pebbles. The white fog lingers, masking the carnage. Firefighters arrive to find a crater where your bedroom used to be. They cannot use water to put out any fires, as the water would instantly turn to ice. The scene is a surrealist painting of architectural failure. The sheer volume of gas has displaced all oxygen in the alleyway. First responders must wear breathing apparatus just to approach the debris. The neighborhood is now a silent, frozen wasteland. The physics are settled. You have successfully converted your bedroom into a high-pressure bomb. The resulting explosion leveled a city block. Your physical form is now distributed across 3 different zip codes. The total energy release was equivalent to a small amount of TNT. The structural damage is absolute. The scientific curiosity is satisfied. You found out exactly what happens. The answer is that everything breaks, everything freezes, and then everything explodes. It was a very efficient way to renovate your home. The insurance company reviews the claim. They note the clause regarding intentional cryogenic flooding. The policy is voided. You are denied coverage for the house. Furthermore, the city issues a fine for unauthorized demolition of a residential structure. You now owe the city $12,000. That is how you lose a house and a body in 10 seconds. Subscribe to the What If Club for more ways to accidentally delete yourself from existence.